The Hostess Cupcake is an iconic American treat, but as we all know, you can't find them anymore. On this episode of Just Add Sugar, I'm going to show you how to make Hostess Cupcakes at home. So the first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Next, in a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to combine our flour with our cocoa powder, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Just whisk it to combine and then set aside. Now in a stand-up mixer with a whisk attachment, I'm going to beat our butter and sugar until it's light and fluffy, about 2 minutes. Add your eggs one at a time into the mixer. And then add your vanilla. Now we're going to alternate mixing our flour mixture and our milk. Put about 1/3 of it in there. You want to start the mixer on low so that the flour doesn't go all over the place. Then a little bit of the milk. And dry ingredients. The rest of the milk. And then the remaining dry ingredients. Now we're just going to divide the batter equally among our cupcake wrappers, and this will make about 12 cupcakes. Bake them for 15 to 20 minutes and then allow them to cool. Now it's time to make the creamy white center, the marshmallow filling. So in a stand-up mixer with a whisk attachment, I'm going to beat 1 egg and our cream of tartar on a medium speed until soft peaks form. While our eggs are going, in a small saucepan, I'm going to heat up some water, sugar, corn syrup, and a pinch of salt. And I'm putting this all in a small sauce pot that I've equipped with a candy thermometer. We want to put it at a medium heat, but really keep an eye on that thermometer because you don't want it to go over 240 degrees. When it gets to 240 degrees, we're going to remove it from the heat and then slowly add it to our egg whites. So I'm using a candy thermometer to ensure that my sugar doesn't burn because we want it to just get really, really hot so that when we combine it with the cream, it's going to make a nice fluffy marshmallow. When your candy thermometer hits 240 degrees, now it's time to add it to the soft peaks. So slowly pour it while this is on low and try to avoid the whisk attachment. You really want to pour it against the bowl, and then we're going to let it go for about 5 to 6 minutes on a medium to high speed. After 5 to 6 minutes, the marshmallow filling should start to look rich and glossy. So I'm going to add our teaspoon of vanilla and then beat for another 1 to 2 minutes. Now it's time to put our marshmallow fluff into 2 pastry bags. One of them I fitted with a star tip. This is what we're going to use to fill the cupcake. And the other one has a tiny little round tip. This is what's going to give that cupcake that signature Hostess swirl. And I only put 2/3 of the filling into the star tip, and I'm going to put the remaining 1/3 into the circle tip so that I have enough to fill the cupcakes and to top the cupcakes. Now if you need an extra hand, you can certainly put this into a glass and have it hold the pastry bag, but I'm kind of a pro, so I'll be fine. And a great way to get all the air bubbles out of your pastry bag is to push the filling to the very end of the tip and then kind of place your bag down a couple times and allow the air bubbles to kind of shake out of there. They'll pop and then you won't have any mistakes later. Twist at the end and you're ready to go. All right, so now we're gonna make the chocolate ganache. And the way it's gonna start is we're gonna heat our heavy cream in a sauce pot on low heat until small bubbles form. All right, I'm seeing some bubbles, so it's now time to remove it from the heat and pour it over our chocolate chips. I'm gonna allow this to sit for a couple minutes, let it melt the chocolate chips on its own, and then I'm gonna whisk it until smooth and then add the butter and whisk it some more. So now that we have our ganache ready, we're gonna pop it into the fridge and allow it to set up a bit before we place it on the cupcakes. So I've set up a chorus line of all the elements you need to complete the Hostess cupcake. So I'm gonna insert the star tip into the center of the cupcake, and then I'm just gonna pinch off a little bit of that marshmallow filling so I know how much I'm injecting into the cupcake. And just slowly squeeze it in there and then lift the piping bag, and you'll start to see the white of the marshmallow. And you wanna make sure that you fill it all the way to the top, and then if you have any excess, just scrape it off. Then I'm gonna dip this into our ganache, swirl off the excess, and then allow it to hang out until we're ready to put the swirl on top. Now it's time to make the signature squiggle. So on top of the cupcake, I'm gonna use my piping bag and I'm gonna put 8 curly cues touching across the top. Wish me luck. In honor of the late Hostess cupcake, I present to you our homemade Hostess cupcake. From the fluffy, moist cake to the creamy marshmallow filling and the smooth ganache, these homemade Hostess cupcakes are the real deal. I'm Brandy. Thanks so much for watching Just Add Sugar. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Pop Sugar Girls Guide, where I will be sharing with you my latest and greatest sweets and treats. Happy baking!